bitches was looking for me. Bitch, here I go. I heard you bitches was looking for me. Bitch, here I go. I heard you bitches was looking for me. Bitch, here I go.
What's poppin', guys? What is poppin'? Y'all know what's poppin'? The BlacKkKlansman by Spike Lee. And what's the other dude name who did Get Out? Was it Jordan Peele? And him. Whoever it is, child. We'll get into it. But before we do, hey guys, hey, this is Nay. Follow me on IG, Periscope, Twitter, Spreaker, and support me on Patreon at NayRob on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment respectfully, and subscribe. Finally, don't forget to hit that notification bell down to your right so you can be notified of all my up-and-coming videos. Now, let's talk about Spike Lee. This particular movie, I want you all to see it because I want you all to come back and tell me what you feel about it and if we felt the same way. You know, me being a 70s baby, 1971. I always love to look at anything that is nostalgic. I love listening to music because it actually acts as a time machine for us. Hey, hit that like button if you know what I'm talking about, you know. And I love looking at, you know, movies that were set up in the 70s because, again, it's like a time machine and it puts us in a happier place. You know what I'm saying? Well, we ain't had no bills. So because as time progresses, I believe people are getting lazier and lazier and they don't want to do the work and they don't want to think about, they don't want to think hard. Okay. And I think that is a point against Spike Lee because I believe that for all the good movies he had, like, what is that, Chirac? I loved Chirac, you know, and a lot of people was like, it was dumb, it didn't do what it was supposed to do, but it actually did. It had a very valid point of, listen, women, you hold the power. If you stop sleeping with these dudes, you basically can control the war in Chirac. And it's facts. But people don't look at it like that. Like, ladies, I mean, we're going to be honest. If you stop giving these dudes vagina and say, look, if you don't start making peace with them dudes, it won't be no more vagina over here, sir. You won't be getting none of this good stuff. Trust me. And we stuck together. Oh, child, we can move mountains. You hear me? Women, we have so much power. It's time for us to use it. I believe the premise of his movie, the BlacKkKlansman, the premise to me was to show how history repeats itself, you know? And it was so many events that he showed throughout the movie that was indicative of what's going on now. Small spoiler. Like how it opened was, it was Alec Baldwin, and he was, I'm not sure if he was president. I think he was the president. And they even showed like the bloopers when the president was giving his address. And this was like years ago, supposedly, right? But they showed the bloopers of it. So you're thinking in your mind, this is reminding me of our president right now, audience, right? And I will never understand this. White folks, if you listen to it, please let me know what the heck is going on. But, you know, it's funny how I was listening to other people's reviews and they were saying that the audience was either half black, half white, or mostly white. And that's strange to me. Like, white folks don't feel uncomfortable seeing movies like that, but I've noticed that a lot of movies where you know, black folks are being treated poorly, that white folks like run to the movie theater to see it, to support it. And I'm like, I need somebody, put it below, to tell me why. So I want to talk right quick about the people that were in the movie. We had Topher, if y'all remember him from that 70s show. I forget his name, but he was a weird dude. He's always like a weird dude, but he played on that 70s show. So we had Topher there. His name is Topher Grace, I think. We had, of course, Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington. I didn't know it was him. I didn't. Like, it's funny that I've seen him before, and I knew he played on another show, like Ballers, right? But I didn't know that was him. Like, I actually thought that he was the guy who plays one of the pimps in The Deuce. And child, I be reviewing The Deuce. And they had Harry Belafonte in there. He had a special guest appearance. And his name is Alan Driver. You know, I'm sure I've seen him in movies before, but he was an excellent actor. Like, I love actors that have reach, you know. Oh, and the young lady who was the main female character, her name was Laura Harrier, something like that. But they all did wonderful jobs. And it was the googly-eyed dude from Saturday Night Live. He's always in an Adam Sandler movie. I'm sorry that I don't know his name, but the cast was great. I always feel like, how did the white people that are in this movie feel when you're portraying to be something so hateful? You know, like, to me, like, to say the ninja word would just be so hard for me. Especially if I knew I wasn't that guy. But child, you know, I guess they actors, that's what they do. Or, you know, for real, they could be like, get out the way, I can't wait to say the ninja. The movie, the undertone of the movie to me was, which black are you? Are you the black that's going to fight? Are you the black that's going to conform? You know? And I believe that is so relevant now, because the way things are now, like especially with the people that are considering themselves to be pro-black, the thing about it is that if you're not a black extremist, then you're discounted as a black power person. You know what I'm saying? Like, either they want you to be extreme with them, or they want you to be over there. Luckily, I'm a strong enough person that I will tell whoever to EAD and get the FUCK out my face, because just because I don't walk with you or walk your walk don't mean that I'm not proud of who I am. See, like everybody else, I am a natural girl. And I know what my natural stands for. I'm not doing it just because it's a style, but I know exactly what my natural means. A black police officer who went to work for a Colorado all-white police force, and his name was Ron Stallworth. Child, that's a white name, ain't it, child? Is there some water here? Had a voice that you really and truly wouldn't know what color he is, you know. And regardless of whether we want to admit it or not, black folks, we have a certain rhythm to us. We have a certain cadence. We just, it's our tone is just different. Like, it's distinctive. You know, no matter what part of the universe you're from, it's you can hear it through the phone. And that was something that they also addressed in the movie. Now, it was quite ignorant when they addressed it, but you know, 9 times out of 10, I can hear what color a person is. But then you have those other people that you can't. And Ron Stallworth was one of the people who you could not. Called a place and said, hey, I hate black people, everything about them. I hate Jews, everything about them. Everybody else who ain't white, I hate them. So then somebody called him up and was like, or, you know, the people in that chapter, the KKK chapter, called him up and was like, hey, we want you. So all in all, the black Ron Stallworth came up with a plan to recruit one of his white police officer friends, who was Alan Driver. I think his name on the show was Flip, or on the movie was Flip. And Flip portrayed him in real life, and Ron portrayed him on the phone. Oh, wait. Denzel's son portrayed him. I guess that was his brainchild, to be like, I'm going to invade the KKK and, you know, take them down or whatever, child, they ain't do much good because they still here. But I guess that was just what he did. But no, but then let me get into this. From what I understand, the real story is that Ron Stallworth did not actually invade the, is invade the right word? I don't know. But Ron Stallworth did not actually get into the KKK. He actually was getting into a black radical group. And I'm like, a black radical group? So they twisted it in a way. That was supposed to be the real story. That he contacted, or that he infiltrated, that's the word, infiltrated a black radical group, not actually the KKK. So in a lot of ways, Spike Lee was discounted because of that. And because Spike Lee actually, I think they said in 2015, well, one of the years most recently, like in the past 5 years, something like that, Spike Lee had joined with the New York police force to try to make a bond between the police and the community. And when you see the movie, what the movie does, it tries to humanize the police. Along the way, he met a young lady. That would be the young lady, what's her name, Patrice or Patty, something like, or Pamela, something like that. But anyway, Laura Harrier, who was she was like head of like this Black Panther group, and he fell for her. He liked her, and her stance was, I'm not sleeping with the enemy. You're the pigs or police, so I'm not sleeping with the enemy. And he said, you know, let me fight from the inside out. Let me say this about Topher's character. What was so mind-blowing, right? And this is when I say that if you're not a Spike Lee fan, when you're not prepared to look below the surface or out the box, you'll miss so many things. And I think that just is a disservice to him, you know. And I know he makes his movies for certain people. You know, if you get it, you got it. But I'm just saying, people need to hear things in the language that they understand. So anyway, Topher's character, he was the one of the Grand Dragons. What's his name? David Duke? What was it? Something Duke, something like that. And what was mind-blowing about his character, yes, David Duke. What was mind-blowing about his character was that he had these ugly, closed-minded thoughts about people who were not pure Aryan blood, and he wanted to take that particular mind, his whole frame of mind, his way of thinking, into the political world, into politics. And that is scary because we have those people in politics in power right now. And it's just mind-blowing that those are things that were possible in the 70s, but they're reflective of what's going on now. And I just loved it. With this character, the sweet, nurturing wife that was loving, caring, but racist. There was a part in the movie where she hollered, that ninja tried to rape me. And that was not the case. That was just something that she used as a mechanism to get the police to be on her side, or to ride with her and the bullshit she had going on. But the movie showed so many different levels of racism, and you know, you had the decent guy, you had the extreme guy, you had the, you know, dumb, scared that he's walking around on this earth with us guy. The movie was indeed, it was a complicated movie, and if you're not ready for that mentally, you're going to be like, anyway, guys, remember this. The same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Have a good one.